Galactic Academy Sigma-9 was not a school. It was a forge. Every cadet that passed through its doors wore scars under their skin and calculation behind their eyes. Species from 54 worlds trained here, not for rank, not for ceremony, for war. And on the 12th cycle of the 89th term, a new cadet stepped off the shuttle. She didn't draw attention at first. Small, human, dark fatigues, cropped hair, no unit tags. Her name barely registered on the roster. REYES, a Earth Deathworlder. One of the instructors laughed when they saw her planet designation. They really sent one of those again. Reyes didn't smile, didn't respond, just nodded. The alien cadets whispered. A few stared longer than they should have. The Gorkari pair snorted through their crests. Soft bones, they always break fast. She walked past without reacting. Not fast, not slow, just steady. Combat conditioning was on day 2. Instructor was Sergeant Instructor Jernachthal. Species, Trelvok mass, 320 kg combat record, 117 confirmed kills known for corrective demonstration. He hated hesitation. He hated excuses. And today he hated having a Terran girl in his class. He pointed at her during warm-up. Earthling. Her eyes met his, calm, clear. You will be my partner, a beat. She nodded. The class circled around. The other cadets leaned in. They all knew what this was. Jernach stretched his spine and cracked his claws. Deathworlder, yes. Let's see if Earth toughness is anything more than a myth. She didn't reply. Just stepped onto the mat and stood in center guard. No stance, no aggression, just balance. He charged. His first blow was a slap, not full force, but enough to spin a lesser creature. It landed across her left cheek. Her head turned slightly. She straightened again, didn't touch her face, didn't blink. Are you done? The room froze. Even Jernach hesitated. A half-second flicker of doubt. Then he moved again, faster this time. Big mistake. She shifted. One step, weight drop, and everything changed. His arm didn't bend. It folded. 3 joints, wrong directions. His roar became a wet cough as she twisted and brought his head down, face first, into the padded deck. The sound echoed. Bone cracking under training foam. Not enough to kill, just enough to shatter confidence. She stepped back. No flourish. No anger, just reset her stance, and walked off the mat. Instructor Jernach didn't get up. Medics entered in silence. Cadets didn't whisper this time. They just watched her sit, cross-legged, unbothered. On the instructor roster, a red flag appeared beside her name. Contact level, black. Do not engage without command clearance. That night, surveillance footage leaked. Someone uploaded it to the internal cadet net. The file name was one word, Earth. By morning, it had 78,000 downloads. Cadet chatter stopped by sunrise. Not a word in the halls. No bets. No jokes. Just stolen glances at Reyes, the human girl who folded a 300-kilo Trelvok instructor like a camp chair. She still hadn't said a word to anyone. Footage analysis came next. Admin drones flagged the viral video. 7 slow-motion breakdowns. 4 language overlays. Even a threat assessment document tagged. Potential level 2 kill reflex. Requires full clearance review. One section of the report stood out. Subject Reyes demonstrates no overt aggression. Attack appears to be controlled, professional, and corrective, not emotional. That disturbed them more than rage would have. Instructor Jernachthal remained in medical suspension. Multiple fractures, concussion, jaw wiring required. He asked one question from the recovery pod. What was that? The nurse replied without looking up. A Terran joint lock. They teach it to children. The commandant of Academy Sigma-9 requested a full background pull. Reyes' file was sealed, standard for Deathworld entries, but Earth's military liaison sent back a simple reply. No apology. No anger. Just a file. REYES, ADRIANA, Deathworld Class IC clearance Blackstream authorized. Her history made them stop breathing. Orphaned at age 4 during the Arctic evacuation on Earth. Survived 9 months in a feral zone alone. Adopted into Special Operations Training Program. Top percentile reflexes. Medical note. Subject exhibits cold response to violence. Empathy intact but shielded. Meanwhile, Reyes was attending class, quietly, perfect scores in theory, first to arrive, last to leave, didn't speak unless addressed. The other cadets avoided sparring her, even the Garnathi twins. Especially the Garnathi twins. But not everyone was afraid. One curious student approached her, a Lurvian cadet tall and orange-scaled named Arnek. He paused beside her in the training hall. I saw the footage. You didn't kill him, she looked up. Wasn't the lesson? What was? She set down her hydration pack. Balance, then walked off. That night Arnek stayed behind, reviewed combat footage frame by frame, watched how she moved, not fast, not flashy, efficient. No wasted motion, no ego. He watched it 23 times, then signed up to be her sparring partner. By week's end, 3 more cadets joined. One from the Tassar Republic, one from the Yevek clans, one, a second human. No words passed, just silent drills, hour after hour. Reyes corrected form with a nod, never raised her voice, never struck again. But command noticed. The training group she led had 100% improvement metrics. Reaction times up, injury rates down, morale higher. The commandant issued a quiet directive: monitor and model, do not interfere. Instructor Jernak was quietly reassigned. New instructor. Major Keldrin, a Kravari veteran with 2 cyber limbs and 0 pride issues. On his first day, he approached Reyes. I've read your file, I won't hit you, she nodded. Good, I'd hate to embarrass you, he grinned. Let's teach together. The room watched a Terran Deathworlder and a 7-foot apex predator spar with mutual respect. No violence, just trust. And the galactic cadets around them took notes. The file reached high command in less than a week. Not sent, requested. Someone from the Galactic Strategic Combat Bureau flagged the Reyes footage mid-transit. It was already spreading on closed-loop training networks across 5 sectors. Quietly like wildfire under snow, the flag read, Subject, Reyes, possible baseline deviation, Deathworlder control index breached. On Sigma 9, Reyes didn't know or didn't care, she just trained. Major Keldrin rotated in new cadets. Some volunteered, others were volunteered by instructors. None argued after their first round, not because she humiliated them, because she fixed them. Every block, every pivot, corrected, refined. Repeated, no speeches, no judgment, just the same calm words after each match, again. The Garnathi twins returned, this time with bowed heads. They asked to join the drills. She nodded. They never left again. The Academy's metrics flagged anomaly after anomaly. Reyes' unit aced the unarmed cohesion test in record time. Her group scored top 1% in improvisational drills. Cadet injuries outside her team increased. Inside, they dropped to near 0. One internal memo read, Cadet Reyes appears to transfer Deathworld survivability like a virus, contagious to peers. Command didn't laugh. Soon visitors came, not from Earth, from off-world command academies. Species who'd once labeled humanity as unpredictable, volatile, primitive. Now they asked to observe. And every time they watched her move, precise, silent, impossibly fast, and scribbled notes in real time. She spoke only when asked. Instructors respected her. Cadets followed her. And the footage, it kept spreading, now with subtitles, now with training overlays, combat simulations, even reaction videos from retired field commanders. One former general, a Krivak warlord, said on Holonet, I've seen apex killers. She's not one, she's worse. She's disciplined. And still, she remained quiet until the commandant asked to see her. He stood behind his desk, arms crossed, expression unreadable. You've started something. She waited. You've been offered direct officer placement in the Terran Vanguard. You'd bypass 2 years of command training. She nodded once, then said, No, a pause. No, she looked him in the eye, still learning. The room went quiet, then he smiled. A real one, and passed her a datapad. Then learn this. It was a request from the Kravari sector. They wanted her to lead a multi-species close combat unit training cycle, not because of politics, not because of fear, because footage doesn't lie. Because when you watch someone bend reality in silence, you stop calling them primitive. You start calling them instructor. Reyes arrived on the Cravari orbital garrison 2 weeks later. She wore no rank insignia, no medals, just earth-issue fatigues and the quiet presence that made rooms still. The alien officers expected a formal briefing. She gave them none, just a line: drills start in 20. You'll want hydration. The multi-species unit she'd been assigned to train had never trained together. Different biology, different atmospheres, different egos. Some resented her, others doubted her. One Yavari captain, 8 feet tall, spiked, thick with pride, sneered before the first drill. "This isn't Sigma 9, Terran, this is a combat garrison. We don't need school teachers." She didn't reply. Instead, she threw him in 6 seconds. No flourish, no pain, just 3 controlled steps, a hip pivot and gravity doing the rest. He landed like a sack of meat, shocked into silence. She offered a hand to help him up. He took it, never challenged her again. Day by day, she drilled them. The humans adapted fast. The aliens struggled. She didn't slow down. But she never humiliated, only corrected, efficiently, precisely. And when they finally matched her pace, she raised it again. After one particularly grueling session, a Virelian officer slumped beside her. "Why do you do this? You already proved yourself." She didn't answer immediately, then said quietly, "You don't teach by winning, you teach by building what survives you." By week 3, the change was visible. The squad moved as one. Species stopped mattering. What mattered was the form, the flow, the silence between strikes. Reyes had taught them to read threats in motion like humans did, not as war machines, but as survivors. Word spread, again, but this time no footage. Just performance reports. Combat simulations where her unit outmatched elite teams. Mixed species formations requesting Deathworlder-style CQB sessions. And a line in every transfer request: "If possible, assign us someone trained under Cadet Reyes." They promoted her without asking. She didn't.